Welcome to this week's archaeology news. I know what you're thinking, that it's actually the second news video in a week, and that's because there's just so much happening in the world of ancient history at the moment. Although I mostly concentrate on discoveries from the Neolithic and Bronze Age, today I'm headlining with a story about an Etruscan tomb because I love everything Etruscan. I've done quite a few videos on mysteries associated with the Etruscans, such as their origins and rumours that they may have built the Cyclopean walls in Italy. But whether you see them as puzzling or not, they certainly had a rich and interesting culture that I like learning about. I also discussed the discovery of a step pyramid in Kazakhstan. This is not the same pyramidal structure that I covered a couple of weeks ago. And I talk about the recent excavation of a clay tablet from the Hittite Empire that's etched with a long-lost language. Archaeologists open an untouched Etruscan tomb in Italy. In April, another Etruscan tomb was discovered in the Osteria Necropolis of the Vulci Archaeological Park in northern Lazio. However, it wasn't opened until a few weeks ago. The double-chambered tomb dates back around 2,600 years and was carved into the tuff, a type of volcanic rock. Many artifacts were discovered inside, including pottery, amphora, utensils, cups, a bronze cauldron, and a tablecloth. The tablecloth would have been used in a funerary ritual where food was burned as a last meal for the deceased just before the tomb was sealed. Vulci was a major Etruscan city which carried out extensive trade overseas. The contents of the tomb attest to this because, in the second chamber, ceramics from eastern Greece, Ionia, and Corinth were found alongside amphora that look as though they came from Chios in the Aegean, a place famed for its wine at the time. In the second chamber, local black Bucero pottery was also found, along with a tripod bowl and various iron artifacts. This is a picture of a Bucero vessel, a type of fine ceramic created by the Etruscans that was much prized. Amphora containing local wine were found in the first chamber. Due to the wealth of grave goods, experts think the tomb probably belonged to an elite person. Other well-preserved tombs in the Osteria Necropolis discovered in the past include the Tomb of the Sun and the Moon and the Tomb of the Sphinx. As with most Etruscan sites, Vulci's history related to that culture is mostly indicated by its tombs, which is why finds such as these are important. Thousands of tombs have been discovered there since the 18th century. Most of Vulci's above-ground remains belong to the Romans rather than the Etruscans. Its original port was a quay on the river Flora, parts of which can still be seen today. So that's one of the few structures definitely attributed to the Etruscans. They then built a larger port at Rjdeadly. During the 6th century BCE, Vulci ruled over the other Etruscan settlements of Orbetello, Saturnia, Sovana, Castro, Pitiliano, and Marsiliana. I've mentioned Orbetello and Saturnia before because they have those mysterious, or not so mysterious depending on how you look at it, Cyclopean walls, and I've also mentioned Pitiliano before because it has these extensive sunken passageways dug through its hills that are also a bit of a mystery. Other above-ground Etruscan remains include sections of its original defensive wall. A votive ditch containing offerings to a fertility cult ran alongside part of it. Interesting remains from when the Romans took over the city include the villa of the Cryptoporticus, Bronze Age step pyramid excavated in Kazakhstan. Over the past 4 field seasons, archaeologists from the Karaganda University in Kazakhstan have been excavating a site near the Taldi Nura River. Recently, they discovered a step pyramid built by the Begazi Dandibay culture. Carbon dating places it between 1300 and 1100 BCE. This Bronze Age culture ruled over vast swathes of the Central Asian steppe region, including parts of modern-day Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan. They were expert miners and metallurgists. Most of their burials were in kurgans, a kurgan being a type of tumulus. However, they also constructed megalithic mausolea, of which 18 have been found so far. Considering there are a lot less of these megalithic constructions than kurgans, it's likely they were used for elite burials only. It's thought the step pyramid is one of these mausolea, and that it probably belonged to a ruler from the Begazi Dandibay culture. Grave goods found within it include decorated ceramics, a bronze and gold arrowhead, and a pottery sherd etched with what may be a form of proto-writing. A human skull was the only skeletal remain discovered in it, but does suggest that this pyramid is a part of the trend for constructing megalithic tombs. In general, these mausolea were built with a central room containing an altar and sarcophagus, and surrounded by 2 or 3 walls made of large stones. This is a photograph of the Hattusa mausoleum. Although the pyramid's primary role was likely funerary in nature, there's evidence such as artistic works inside that it was also used for religious ceremonies. Excavations have also revealed a proto-city in the area dating to the same time period and covering 15 hectares, which had planned streets, water collection systems, walls, gates, and moats. Archaeologists find clay tablet etched in a lost language. For more than 100 years, archaeologists, linguists, and historians have been excavating and translating the thousands of cuneiform clay tablets at the ancient Hittite capital of Hattusa in Turkey. The Hittites were a Bronze Age culture that settled in Anatolia during the 2nd millennium BCE. They spoke an Indo-European language known now as Hittite, which is the oldest recorded language from that family found so far. The Hittites built an elaborate capital city housing between 40 and 50,000 people, where they also kept their royal archives. These archives contain thousands of clay tablets etched with royal treaties, political correspondence, legal treaties, and religious rituals. Recently, a tablet was unearthed which is a little different from the rest. This exceptionally well-preserved tablet starts with a cultic ritual written in Hittite before switching to an unknown script. This script is introduced with the sentence, "From now on, read in the language of the country of Kalasma." Unfortunately, no photographs have been released of the tablet, which is currently being studied. Kalasma was a society based on the northwestern edge of the Hittite Empire. It's not unusual for experts to find tablets at Hattusa in other languages, since the Hittites often wrote down religious rituals in different languages. This, along with their worship of thousands of deities, appears to show that they absorbed the cultures of the places they conquered. It was quite normal for ancient civilizations to do this as a way of placating the inhabitants of their newly conquered territory. The inhabitants of Kalasma fought for the Hittites against the ancient Egyptians in 1274 BCE, but little is known about their language. Experts think the script is an Anatolian Indo-European language, since it appears to share its roots with others in that group. However, nothing has been confirmed yet. Further analysis of the tablet is underway. That's it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Half of my views come from non-subscribers, so you know what to do. A big thank you goes out to my patrons and channel members, and I'll see you next time.